You wake up in the middle of the night. The house is quiet. Everyone is asleep. But you are not. You get up, walk to the bathroom, and think to yourself. Again, the third time tonight. You come back to bed, pull the covers up, close your eyes, and you wait. And it happens again. You tell yourself it is just age, just a bladder thing, something that happens to everyone after 60. But what if I told you that those nighttime trips to the bathroom are not about your bladder at all? What if I told you your body has been sending you a message for months, maybe even years, and that message is coming from a place most people never suspect? Right now, tonight, while you try to sleep, something inside you may be quietly failing, and you would never know it, because it does not hurt. It never hurts. Not until it is almost too late. I recorded this video with a knot in my throat, because every single week, in my practice, I sit across from at least 2 or 3 patients who come in looking tired, a little confused, a little embarrassed, and they tell me the same thing. Doctor, I thought it was just age. I have been caring for patients for over 2 decades, and I can tell you with full honesty that kidney disease is the condition that breaks my heart the most. Not because it is the most violent, but because it is the most silent. Because by the time my patients finally connect the dots, the nighttime bathroom trips, the leg cramps, the itching, the breathlessness, the damage has often been building for years. You did nothing wrong. You just were never told what to look for. And that is exactly why I am here with you today. In this video, I am going to walk you through 4 nighttime signs that your kidneys may be sending you right now. Signs that most people dismiss for years without ever suspecting where they are truly coming from. We are going to go through them one by one, from the most common to the most serious. And I promise you, the sign that lands at number 1 is going to surprise you. Most people never see it coming. Before we begin, please take a moment and share this video with someone you love, a spouse, a sibling, a dear friend. This information could genuinely change someone's life. And one more thing, this video is educational and informational. It does not replace a visit with your own doctor. Please always work alongside a physician you trust. Agreed? Then let's get started. So before we get into the 4 signs, I need to take just a moment to show you something that very few people ever stop to think about. Because once you truly understand what your kidneys do, every single minute of every single day, you will never look at them the same way again. Think of your kidneys as the most dedicated filtration system you have ever seen, not a simple coffee filter that you toss out and replace. Think bigger. Think of a full industrial water purification plant. 2 of them, each roughly the size of your fist, sitting quietly in your lower back, working without a single break, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. While you sleep, while you sit at the dinner table, while you simply breathe, they never stop, not once. Every single day, your kidneys filter roughly 50 gallons of blood. 50 gallons. That is more than 3 full bathtubs. They pull out the waste, the toxins, the excess minerals. They keep what your body needs and flush the rest out through your urine. And inside each kidney, there are roughly 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. The National Kidney Foundation calls them among the most sophisticated microscopic structures in the entire human body. And here is the part that should stop every single one of us cold. Nephrons do not regenerate. When one is damaged or destroyed, it is gone forever. Your body will never replace it. But there is more. Your kidneys also produce a hormone called erythropoietin. Think of it as the factory supervisor who signals your bone marrow to produce red blood cells. When the kidneys begin to struggle, that supervisor goes silent. Red blood cell production drops. And what you feel is fatigue, breathlessness, that deep, bone-level tiredness you have probably been blaming on age for years. The CDC estimates that chronic kidney disease affects 37 million Americans right now, and the vast majority have no idea. So when your body starts sending signals at night, you need to know exactly how to listen. Sign number 4. And I want you to think about this for just a moment. How many times did you wake up last night to use the bathroom? Once, twice, 3 times? If your answer is 3 or more, I need you to stay with me right here, because what I am about to tell you changes everything you thought you knew about those nighttime trips. Most people, and I mean the overwhelming majority, assume this is a bladder issue, a prostate issue, a getting older issue. They never once suspect their kidneys. But the National Kidney Foundation is very clear on this. Nocturia, which is the medical term for waking up 3 or more times a night to urinate, is one of the very first warning signs that kidney filtering capacity is beginning to decline. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that adults over 60 who reported regular nocturia were significantly more likely to show early markers of chronic kidney disease when tested, and the vast majority of them had no other symptoms whatsoever. Here is what is actually happening inside your body. Think of your kidneys like workers on a factory line. During the day, when you are active and moving, they run at full speed. But when kidney function starts to slip, those workers fall behind. So they try to catch up at night, during the quiet hours, shifting their heaviest workload to the time when your body is supposed to be resting. The result is a flood of urine production during sleep. You wake up, you walk to the bathroom, you come back, and 30 minutes later, it happens again. I think of Linda every single time I explain this. Linda was 67 years old, a retired elementary school teacher from Columbus, Ohio, sharp, active, babysitting her grandchildren 3 days a week. She had been waking up 3 to 4 times a night for over a year. She told herself it was just her bladder. She never mentioned it to her doctor. When a routine physical finally included a creatinine panel, the result came back above the normal reference range for her age. She looked at me and said, "But I feel completely fine. How can something be wrong?" And that is precisely the point. The kidneys do not make you hurt. They do not announce themselves. They simply begin to fade. And the only clue they leave behind is that quiet walk to the bathroom in the dark. What you can do, starting this week, track how many times you wake up to use the bathroom each night for 7 consecutive days. Write it down. If the number is consistently 3 or more, bring that record to your next doctor's appointment. Reduce fluid intake in the 2 hours before bed. Not your total daily hydration, just the timing. And ask your doctor for 2 simple lab tests, a serum creatinine and a urinalysis. These are inexpensive, widely available, and often fully covered by insurance. They can catch a problem while there is still time to act. But I need to be honest with you. Nocturia is the mildest sign on this list. What comes next is something that sends millions of people to the drugstore looking for a magnesium supplement, and they have no idea they are treating the wrong problem entirely. Stay with me. Sign number 3. Tell me, have you ever been woken up at night by a cramp so severe in your calf or your foot that you had to grab the side of the bed and press your foot flat against the floor just to make the pain stop? If you raised your hand just now, you are not alone. Muscle cramps during sleep are one of the most common complaints I hear from patients over 60. And almost universally, they blame it on low magnesium, on not stretching enough, on sleeping in the wrong position. What they almost never consider is this. A study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that adults with early-stage chronic kidney disease reported nighttime muscle cramps at more than twice the rate of the general population. Twice. Because when the kidneys begin to lose their filtering efficiency, they also lose their ability to regulate a precise balance of minerals in the blood, specifically potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and sodium. And when that balance is disrupted, the electrical signals that control muscle contraction become unstable. Your muscles respond to that instability the only way they know how. They seize, they cramp, they wake you up in agony in the middle of the night. Think of it like this. Your muscles are like guitar strings. They need to be tuned to exactly the right tension to work properly. Your kidneys are the instrument tuner. They maintain that perfect mineral balance every minute of the day. When the tuner starts to malfunction, some strings go too tight, some go too loose, and what you hear is not music. It is a cramp that twists your calf like a wrench at 2 in the morning. Bob was 71 years old, a retired long-haul trucker from San Antonio, Texas, diagnosed with high blood pressure 15 years ago, taking his medication faithfully. But Bob had always eaten with a very heavy hand on the salt shaker. "That is just how I was raised," he told me without apology. He had been waking up almost every night with violent leg cramps for years. His feet and ankles were visibly swollen every single morning. He had never once connected any of it to his kidneys, and he actively avoided drinking water because someone had told him years ago that too much water puts extra stress on the kidneys. He believed that completely. What Bob did not know was that the opposite is true. Dehydration is one of the most damaging things you can do to kidney tissue. When he finally came in and we ran his panel, his kidney function had already declined to a level that required immediate dietary changes and close monitoring. After Bob reduced his sodium intake, stopped adding salt at the table, eliminated the processed foods he had been eating daily, and began drinking water consistently throughout the day, within 8 weeks, the cramps had nearly disappeared. His exact words to me at the follow-up appointment: "I cannot believe something so simple made this much difference this fast." What you can do: reduce your sodium intake starting today by checking the labels on packaged and processed foods. Anything above 200 milligrams of sodium per serving should be a red flag. Eliminate the salt shaker from the table, and talk to your doctor about checking your electrolyte panel alongside your kidney function tests. If cramps are frequent and severe, do not self-supplement with potassium or phosphorus without medical guidance. In patients with kidney issues, those supplements can actually cause harm. But the next sign on this list is one that people almost never connect to the kidneys. And when I tell you what causes it, I think it is going to genuinely shock you, because the connection is one that most people would never make in a lifetime of guessing. Prepare yourself. Sign number 2. I want you to think about this carefully. Have you been dealing with itching at night, particularly on your legs, your shins, your arms, with no visible rash, no dry skin, no obvious explanation? You have tried every lotion on the shelf. You switched laundry detergent. You changed your soap. And nothing helps, because nothing you put on your skin is going to fix a problem that is coming from inside your blood. The NIDDK, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, describes uremic pruritus, or kidney-related itching, as one of the most undertreated and misunderstood symptoms of declining kidney function. It affects an estimated 40% of patients with chronic kidney disease. When the kidneys begin to lose their ability to clear waste products from the blood, a class of toxins called uremic compounds starts to accumulate. These compounds circulate through the bloodstream and deposit beneath the skin. The immune system detects them as foreign, and it reacts. The result is an itch that no cream can touch, because the irritant is not on the surface of your skin, it is in your blood. Carol was 63 years old, a stay-at-home seamstress from Nashville, Tennessee, who took in alterations to help with household expenses. For 8 months, she had been dealing with intense itching on her legs every night, especially around her shins and ankles. She had been through 5 different moisturizers, 2 antihistamines, and 2 changes of laundry detergent. Nothing worked. When she finally came to see me and we ran a full kidney panel, the answer was clear. The problem was not in her skin. It had never been in her skin. It was in her kidneys, slowly losing the capacity to clear the toxins her body was accumulating every single day. Once Carol began a low-sodium, plant-forward diet, stopped the daily ibuprofen she had been taking for shoulder pain, and increased her water intake gradually throughout the day, the itching began to ease within the first month. She told me at her next appointment, "I thought I was going crazy. I never imagined it could come from there." What you can do if you have persistent nighttime itching with no visible skin cause and no response to standard treatments, request a kidney function panel from your doctor. Specifically creatinine, BUN, and a urinalysis, This is a symptom that deserves investigation, not just more lotion. And now we have arrived at the sign that changes everything, the one that is going to surprise you most, because it is the one that no one, absolutely no one, connects to the kidneys. And yet it may be the most urgent message your body can send you in the quiet of the night. Before we get to the number one sign, the one that truly no one sees coming, I want to pause for just a moment and ask you something. Where are you watching this from right now? Drop your city in the comments below. I read every single one, and it means the world to me to know where you are. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please take 5 seconds right now, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video like this one. Now let's keep going, because the next sign is one that millions of people are actually making worse by trying to help themselves. And now we have arrived at number one. And this one, I will be honest with you, is going to surprise the vast majority of people watching this video right now. Because it is not leg cramps. It is not itching. It is not even the nighttime bathroom trips. The sign that lands at number one is something that millions of people experience every single night and blame entirely on their mattress, their pillow, their weight, their stress, or their age. They never, not once, connect it to their kidneys. And yet, of all the signals on this list, this is the one that tells me, as a physician, that we may be running out of time. Sign number one is waking up at night struggling to breathe. That feeling of suffocation when you lie flat. That restless, fragmented sleep where you find yourself propping up on 2 or 3 pillows just to feel comfortable. That strange sensation that your chest is heavy, that the air is not quite enough, that you need to sit up for a moment before you can settle back down. Most people who experience this assume it is anxiety, acid reflux, sleep apnea, a heart thing maybe. But here is what almost no one knows, and what I need you to hear clearly right now. When the kidneys begin to lose their ability to regulate fluid balance in the body, excess fluid does not just pool in the ankles and feet. It migrates, it moves through the body, and when you lie down flat, gravity no longer holds it in your legs. That fluid redistributes, and a significant portion of it shifts upward toward the lungs. Think of your lungs as 2 balloons inside a room with rising water. As long as you are standing, the water stays low. The moment you lie down, the water level rises, and the balloons begin to compress. Breathing becomes harder. The body panics. You wake up gasping, restless, convinced something is wrong with your heart or your breathing, never once suspecting the true source. The medical term for this is orthopnea, the inability to breathe comfortably in a flat position. And it is a recognized marker of fluid overload driven by declining kidney function. A landmark study published in The Lancet as part of the Global Burden of Disease project found that advanced chronic kidney disease is now among the fastest growing causes of cardiovascular complications worldwide, with fluid dysregulation playing a central role. The KDIGO, the international organization that sets global kidney disease guidelines, identifies orthopnea and paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea, which means waking up suddenly unable to breathe, as urgent red flags that require immediate evaluation, not a specialist appointment next month, not a call to the nurse line. Immediate evaluation. I think of Richard every single time I explain this sign. Richard was 68 years old, a retired building contractor from Memphis, Tennessee, who had spent his career lifting heavy equipment and prided himself on never being sick a day in his working life. He came to me not for his kidneys. He had no idea his kidneys were involved, but because he had not slept lying flat in over 4 months. He slept in his recliner every single night. I figured it was my back, he told me. Or maybe I just got used to the chair. His ankles were visibly swollen. He had gained 11 pounds in 2 months without changing his diet. He was taking 3 ibuprofen tablets daily for an old rotator cuff injury, had been doing so for nearly 3 years, without a prescription, without telling anyone, because it was just over the counter. When we ran his labs, his creatinine was significantly elevated, and his kidney function had already declined to a level that required urgent management. The turning point for Richard was stopping the ibuprofen immediately under medical supervision, switching to a kidney protective pain management plan, aggressively reducing his sodium intake, and beginning a carefully monitored hydration protocol. Within 3 weeks, he was sleeping in his bed again for the first time in months. His exact words at the follow-up: "I cannot believe I blamed my recliner for 3 years." What you can do right now, tonight, if you are already sleeping with multiple pillows propped under your back just to breathe comfortably, if you wake up in the night with that suffocating heaviness in your chest, if your ankles are swollen when you rise in the morning and your weight has been creeping up without explanation, do not wait. Call your doctor tomorrow. Ask specifically for a creatinine level, a BUN, a basic urinalysis, and a complete metabolic panel. Tell your doctor about every over-the-counter medication you take, including pain relievers. And if you are currently using ibuprofen, naproxen, or any NSAID on a regular basis without recent medical guidance, please stop gently and speak to your physician about safer alternatives. Your kidneys may be asking you right now, with every labored breath in the night, for exactly that. So let me take just a moment now and speak directly to you, not as a doctor to a patient, as one human being to another. Because if anything you have heard in this video tonight sounds familiar, if you recognized yourself in any of these signs, I need you to hear what I am about to say very carefully. If you are waking up 3 or more times a night to use the bathroom and you have been doing so consistently for weeks or months, that is a sign worth investigating. If you are dealing with muscle cramps in your legs or feet during the night that wake you from sleep, that is a sign worth investigating. If you have been itching at night, especially on your shins, your calves, your arms, with no visible rash, no skin condition, no response to any cream or lotion you have tried, that is a sign worth investigating. If you cannot lie flat in your bed without feeling short of breath, if you have been sleeping propped up on pillows just to breathe comfortably, if you wake up in the night with a heaviness in your chest or a sense of suffocation that you cannot fully explain, that is a sign worth investigating urgently. If your ankles or feet look puffy in the morning when you first get out of bed, if you feel a fatigue that is deeper than tiredness, a bone-level exhaustion that sleep does not fix, if your urine has looked foamy or darker than usual for no clear reason, if you have any one of these symptoms, even just one, please ask your doctor for a serum creatinine test, a BUN, which stands for blood urea nitrogen, and a basic urinalysis. These 3 tests together give your doctor a clear window into how well your kidneys are filtering. They are simple, they are widely available, and they can catch a problem at a stage when there is still every reason for hope. So let me give you something concrete to walk away with tonight, because information without action is just noise, and you deserve better than that. First, starting tomorrow morning, track how many times you wake up during the night to use the bathroom. Write it down for 7 days in a row. That simple record could be the most important thing you bring to your next doctor's appointment. Second, look at every over-the-counter pain reliever in your medicine cabinet. If you are using ibuprofen or naproxen on a regular basis without current medical guidance, speak to your doctor this week about safer alternatives. Your kidneys may be silently paying the price. Third, reduce your sodium intake by checking labels on packaged and processed foods. Set a personal limit of no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day and start by removing the salt shaker from your table entirely. Fourth, begin drinking water consistently throughout the day in small amounts. Not all at once, not just at meals. 6 to 8 glasses spread gently across your waking hours is your goal. Fifth, ask your doctor for 3 specific tests: a serum creatinine, a BUN, and a basic urinalysis. These 3 together give a clear picture of how your kidneys are functioning right now. They are simple, accessible, and often fully covered by insurance.